Susie.
Hello, episode 649. How the heck are you?
I'm doing well. You know, I was just thinking, we record this now for our Patreon patrons, and wouldn't it be funny to do a compilation of the 1, 2, 3 countdown or 3, 2, 1 countdown? Which now I can't. 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1. Now I don't remember if it's 1, 2, 3 or 3, 2, 1. This happens sometimes when I think too hard about it. But yes, I like to switch it up sometimes. So
yeah, what is it actually? Is it a countdown or a count up?
I think it's 1,
1, 2, 3. We do it on 3.
We go on 3. Yes. It's weird. It's like I wouldn't know unless I have to do it like in the motion. It's kind of like, you know, those phone numbers that you like almost have to get a running start.
Yes.
Like, what is it? It's like 805. You know, like running start to start.
And I don't know how it was determined that you were the person that would count, but it's always been you. You always count, and then I don't know why.
Yeah, isn't that weird?
Yeah.
You know, we fall into these roles that we only really think about after 649 episodes.
Yes. How are you?
I am doing. I did say I'm doing well, but not 100% of me is 100%. That's like a nice way to put it, I suppose.
Yes, that is a nice way to put it.
As you may have seen on my Instagram, I went on a little rafting trip, river rafting trip. Nothing like crazy. I'm like not like whitewater rafting over here. This was like more of a river booze cruise.
Oh, like lazy river type of
Yes, it was a lazy river. It was so fun.
Those are my favorite kinds of rivers.
Yes. See, there you go. You know, at first you were kind of like, who are these 25 people who would want to go?
Yeah.
Susie, I think you'd fit right in.
Yeah, I thought it was a Raging Rapids type of thing.
This is chill. This is, let me give you some Sauvignon Blanc from a can that was actually quite delicious. And
now we're talking.
Like
that's my kind of rafting excursion.
Floating down the river. Mm-hmm. Laying out.
This is the Venn diagram of our interests have finally
just overlapped. Finally.
Yes.
See, I think I could convince you of this trip. It was so fun.
Okay.
The problem was that there were children on the trip. That is not the problem. The problem is that I don't know how to not be what is like, I don't know, essentially a court jester around children. And either that or I am just a giant child and I want to do all the things that they do. So
how old are these bozos? How old are we talking here?
Ages, I would say like 3 to 9.
Oh, okay.
And the 9-year-old girl, oh my gosh, she was the cutest thing ever. She was totally a future brainiac. She read the whole time. Big time Sarah and Susie energy. Like, I'm like, she was like and we would like hang out and chit chat. We would talk about books and she was so cute. And I'm like, you know, and Eli was like, oh, well, this is a different side I have not seen. He's like, you are like the child with they're surrounding you. Like I had like,
he doesn't know about this.
Well, I don't think we'd ever hung out with a bunch of kids before. Like, he knows I go to camp, but like until you like see what happens when I get around kids and like, it's like the Pied Piper. Like I just, they recognize me as one of their own and they're like,
their queen has arrived.
Yes. They're like, yes, she is here. Tell us a joke. And then I do. And then all of a sudden I don't know. I just, that's it. I basically have like maybe the maturity of about a 9-year-old. So we connect. I definitely have the impulse control of a 9-year-old because when the dads built a giant slip and slide that went off of like the mud and it was totally legit, like no problem, no rocks underneath, like nothing could go wrong. The kids were going down the side, but they weren't getting enough. Okay.
Is it a, official licensed slip and slide?
No, this is a tarp. This is a plastic tarp down a muddy hill.
Okay, well, you are not allowed to use the official trademark.
Right. I didn't put the apostrophe. It's just slip and slide. So it's like, not slip and slide.
So you're telling me, what color was this? Blue?
White.
A white tarp.
Yeah.
And soap and water?
Yeah, more like a clear tarp. Yeah, and like, no soap. Just water. This could have been the problem because we were going into the river, so I think they probably didn't want to use like soap or anything like that there, which makes sense. And
I am mad. I'm already mad.
I'm mad too, Suze. I don't have good. I should never have children. This is exactly why I told my mom, I was like, I will be in a wheelchair by the time they're 5 from showing off and getting injured, because like I think that my body can do the things that it used to do, and I did not stretch or warm up or like anything I needed to do apparently before doing this. So the kids were going down, but they were like hesitant as they should be.
Right. They had caution.
They had good sense.
Yeah.
To be cautious and like just kind of scoot down like it's a slide. And I was like, no, guys, you got to like
God.
Yep. I was like, you got to get a running start. Watch this. And like slid. And then because there wasn't enough water, my foot got stuck underneath me. No. So I rolled over my ankle and heard a lovely popping noise that really did sound like it was the weirdest noise. It was like like that. It was, but it was. I was like, whoa.
Do it again. No, God, it's terrible.
It was like that, and I was like, whoa. And so then I like go down the slide into the water, and I can't stand up at all. And I'm not going to make a face because, of course, I'm around 3-year-old like children who are going to have fun. And so I'm just like turn around, like smiling, a thumbs up to the beach. Yeah, like all good, guys. And I walk over to the side, like hobble over, like underwater. Thank God nobody can see because it's like muddy and nobody can see like
Sarah.
what I'm doing.
Okay, wait.
Go, like, around the
at
side.
that moment, what did you think the injury was at that time?
I got nervous. I've injured myself enough to be able to sort injuries into the category of like, is this a tendon or like a tear or is this a break? Because breaks feel very specific.
What
and
do they
that
feel
feeling,
like?
It makes me want to vomit because I'm like in a lot of pain right now.
Oh,
and like
no.
now, like
okay,
like,
don't.
Ugh.
Well, let's not talk about that.
And I decided, my mom was like, I got painkillers from Costa Rica, and I was like, let's not before I go on the podcast. Which would have been hilarious, but maybe I'll take them for the next one to just see what happens.
Yes, please.
Like, maybe I will. So yeah. So
what category did you think it was in?
It was in the tendon, or like it's going to be like a sprain, or I knew it wasn't a break because the popping sound, breaks don't make a noise like that. They feel like internal. Like it's a sharp, like a shooting pain that's like inside and that kind of like and you can
like
feel
stabbing.
it. It's Whereas this was more of a pulse, like a hot, like a heat and like a pulsing kind of like radiating pain that wasn't as sharp.
Where is
on
this pain?
The outside of my. So I slid kind of like a baseball player, like slides into home. So I tucked one foot underneath me. And it's the ankle, your ankle bone there. And now because I was like, fuck this, I'm not going to a doctor to like have them like do an MRI and then tell me that it's something that I just have to stay off of for 4 weeks. Like, let me do some research on like what the tendons in the foot look like. They're very easy to see. There aren't very many of them. And once you flex your foot, you can kind of see. I'm like, okay, I got 3 tendons on the top. I got 2 on the side. And then you've got these connectors that go over the tendons that their job is like hold them down. And I can't remember what the name of them are, but they hold them down. And so I was looking and I know exactly what I landed on and I know where it was. And I know what it felt like and how I've been describing it. And it's definitely the whatever's right on top of the ankle bone right there, like popped and then slid. And then when I looked up, so when I was like looking at the anatomy of foot, and I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what it is. That's definitely around the area. And that looks like where I'm feeling the pain right now. And if it holds these tendons down, that's probably why I can't move my pinky toe like that or can't bend my foot like that. And so then
God.
I look up, and I've been like telling people what like how it felt when I got injured and everything. I looked up the symptoms of it. What's a perineal tendon injury or perineal retinaculum? I don't know how to pronounce it.
Sarah went to Dr. Google.
Yeah, Dr. Google. But listen to the description of what
tell me.
The symptoms are. pain and swelling, weakness of the foot or ankle, warmth to the touch, and a popping sound at the time of injury.
Yeah.
Okay, that would be it. So that it was like that. Like I've injured myself in many, many ways. I've never heard that kind of popping noise before. And I was like, boo. And it's like now. And so, it says if it gets worse after a week, then you got to go and like maybe have some surgery done. But if it doesn't, I just have to stay off of it for 2 weeks. Then at 4 weeks, it should be healed. No problem.
This is terrible.
Yeah.
And, I would say, I hope you learned a valuable lesson, but I know that you haven't.
No!
Because this is how Sarah broke her leg.
Yes.
In the year of our Lord 2010. Because and then came to my wedding on crutches.
Oh my gosh, that's right. That's right. Oh, we have so many photos, evidence of this.
And she did it by hula hooping for children.
Yes. Showing off. Going, kids, watch this. If you hear me say, watch this. Let me go through the other ways that I've... Yes! Susie! What is wrong? Let me go through the other ways that I also fractured the growth plate in my ankle when I was in high school. Didn't know and like walked on it. It was like I had got to be cool and not tell anybody. Walked it for 2 weeks. I was showing off doing a flying sidekick off of a park bench.
I don't even know what that is.
Like I was like flying and like whoa, like kicking my leg out like I'm like I don't know, freaking Power Ranger.
Like David Lee Roth.
Yeah, yes. And like off of a park bench, rolled my ankle or landed on my ankle and shattered my growth plate. Couldn't, and then after oh God, now my foot's a half a size smaller.
No.
Yeah, 1 foot's a 7, one's a 7.5.
Sarah.
But, any hoodles. So yeah, so if I go through like the times that I've been injured, they are all me being a fucking dumb. And the no feet when I went down the hill on my bicycle, broke my arm, knocked myself out. Mm-hmm. I was like, oh, I know. I'll go no feet.
No feet, no brakes.
No feet, no brakes. It is, look what I could do. Susie!
I have more questions about this, but first I'll just say I hope that your foot doesn't swell up too much because you need to keep wearing your Rothies because they're so darn cute.
Okay. I brought an outfit. Like, we went right from camping to his sister's birthday. Like, didn't even stop. I had the cutest outfit planned out with my tan Rothies.
Yeah.
I could not fit my
foot in
there.
Gosh.
I know.
Sarah.
I had to ditch and I was so mad. Then I had to wear stupid shoes that did not look cute with the outfit. And I was very upset.
And you would be upset too, because if you guys have seen Rothies, you would know. They are so stylish. But if you haven't put your foot in one, then you wouldn't know. They are so comfy.
So comfy.
So
given your foot isn't twice the size of you.
Yeah. As long as you're not doing slip and slide acrobatics. But yeah, they're made out of plastic water bottles, and somehow they've made these amazing, comfortable shoes that you can then wash, and they stay beautiful year after year. I was doing the math on how long I've had these white shoes, the white Rothies.
Yeah.
It has to be 6 years. Who has white tennies?
Right. My favorite thing in the whole world is going cost per use. And how, when you divide that.
Yeah, if you...
chef's kiss. And you're going to have them for maybe another 6.
I know. So I'm just saying they are so worth it, and they are so great, and they have all different styles and colors, not just white like I wear. Find your new favorite shoes and get ready to be asked, are those Rothies? Plus, get 20% or $20 off your first purchase at rothys.com/braincandy. That's ROTHYS.com/braincandy. $20 off your first purchase.
Yeah.
Okay,
I was wearing mine... before that trip, because this is like my go-to favorite outfit, and I was walking on the street and walking quickly and I don't know where I was going with Eli, and there was another woman who was wearing the exact same pair And I couldn't help myself. I was like, nice shoes, and then just kept walking, and then just took off. And Eli's probably has no. He was like, she has no idea who you were talking to in that group. I just yelled it, and then kept moving because I have to because it's the same ones. And I
again, impulse control, not your strong suit.
Not my strong suit.
Okay, so you get out of the lake or whatever it is, river.
Yeah.
And how do you break the news to everybody that things didn't go as it may have looked?
I swam over, I tried really hard to not make it look like I was injured.
And then what?
And then I looked at Eli and I think I said something like, Houston, we have a problem. Or
right. That old classic.
Thing. Yeah, I was like, no, it's probably fine. I just kind of twisted it a little bit. The good thing is we had 2 doctors on the trip. The ones who had all the kids, they're the group who were the coolest family. Dad is a general GP, and mom is a what do you call pediatrician. Mm-hmm. And the kids were so smart and so funny, and all where the comedians told jokes all night. It was the best. And I always what my favorite kid is? The one who says the same joke but or uses the same material but doesn't really know the anatomy of a joke and just says, and I was like, watch, there's going to be one in the group. And sure enough, there was one little 4-year-old who would come around and be like, how does a chicken cross the road? Dirty double crosser. It's so cute. And I'm like, that guy is the funniest one in the group. Just watch. And then he just kept the jokes going all night long. It was so cute. So mom and dad were so fun. They were dad had neon colored, hammer pants, MC Hammer style pants with rainbow colored Crocs. I'm like, these are my people. This is great. They have a sense of humor. They're so fun. And I felt very well taken care of because the doctors on the trip had all the stuff, and they gave me
what they say?
bandage.
Just sorry.
And I didn't bother them with I just looking at it. I wasn't oh, can you please look at my foot or whatever.
You didn't want to make a scene.
I did not want to make a scene.
Yeah.
At all. And then I just kind of took some time and walked back to the tent. And one of the guys on the trip, when he realized that my ankle was injured, he goes, yeah, I was wondering what was going on. I thought you were just really into the rocks because every now and then you would pause with your hands on your shoulders and just look down. Now I recognize that you were hunched over in pain, but I thought, wow, this gal's really into rocks. And I was
loves geology.
I also love geology and rocks. But yeah, so that didn't go.
The last time that you've said, Houston, we have a problem was during the tragic diarrhea incident when you were on a run with Landon.
Right.
When she had an emergency bathroom problem.
Yes. Which luckily all turned out just fine.
Worked out.
I made it there.
Didn't you have to scale a fence at that?
I sure did.
Yeah.
Sure did. Glad I didn't sprain my ankle there.
Right.
Sure did. Had to hop a fence. Thank God. It was like a porta potty, oasis in the distance.
It's
right
weird,
in
though,
time.
How you and your mom are so calamitous sometimes. There's just
because we move too fast.
Things. Yeah.
Well, and now my mom's here, and we're organizing my garage, getting a bunch of stuff, cleared out, and I'm not such a good patient. I'm not good at when somebody's like, you should. And also, until this morning when I kind of looked, the reason that I did a little deep dive into why my ankle is hurting is because I may have pushed it a little too hard this morning and further. I don't know.
The hell were you doing?
I thought I could help my mom load up the U-Haul, and then
Twister?
I walked from exactly, more hula hooping, and then I walked from the car to I had the U-Haul trailer, so I had to park far away, and then I walked back. And as I was walking, I was trying to tell myself okay, just try to walk normal. Just try to let's just see what can happen. Just walk normal. And when I did that, my foot collapsed, and I was like, oh no, bad. We did that was a bad idea. Bad. And so that was dumb. Then I was like, maybe I should look up what's wrong with my foot and see what I should do. Because, you never know if it's one of those things where, you should move it around to kind of, loosen it up or work it out. This one was definitely don't walk on it. Definitely don't do anything.
Yeah,
Stop moving.
Whenever you hear pop, I mean.
Oh, what the fuck is wrong with me?
That's awful. See, don't you feel like regret is the worst part?
Yes, so much. And that's why as soon as I looked it up, and the first thing, like, you know, and then it has all the Google questions of like, can this heal on its own? Can this, you know, da-da-da. And I just started crying because like the pain, like then the pain, I told my mom, like, we have to stop talking about this because like the reality of like, you know, I'm like looking up like what's covered under my like benefits from, I'm like, fucking A, like I don't want to have to go through my deductible, you know, like for this stupid thing. Like this is so fucking stupid. When I do 1,000 other things, I'm hiking up the sides of mountains. I'm like, you know, snowboard. I'm doing all this shit. And I hurt myself on a slip and slide.
Yeah, well, I'm telling you what, slip and slides, I feel like they should be illegal.
Yeah, you know what? I will sign that petition.
It's a recipe for disaster.
Let's look at, I wonder how many, like, do they take like, how many injuries are caused via slip and slide?
And especially
again, not regulation.
ones. Yeah, not regulation. Yeah, the makeshift ones are way worse, but even the real ones, it's just like so many things can go wrong.
Oh, God. This reminds me of the Adventure Park documentary that we watched. That was so good. Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
It's just like danger death traps. And they made it so safe, and they did such a good job, and then I just fucking ruin it. Kids still had fun.
Yeah, okay.
The other option were the other older kids and some of the dads were doing, and moms were like cliff jumping on the other side, and Eli was like
I didn't
throwing
like
gainers
that.
off that.
I saw.
I don't like that either, though.
No, on Instagram when I was watching that on Eli's story, I was just like, "This is danger zone."
Right. That's what I said. I said, "Who checked the water underneath? What do we know about this?" It freaks me out,
And
Susie.
they were doing flips, and that is even double danger.
I know. And he's like, just does it. And I'm like, can you not? He's such a daredevil.
It scares me.
I told him, I was like, you can't because I love you too much. And then what's going to happen is you're going to have an injury and you're going to like, I'm going to have to be your caretaker for forever because I'm not going to be able to leave you. And then this is going to be my life. And so can we please not change the course of my life with your actions?
I'm telling you, like, you're going to have to watch him.
I know. It's too much.
I was just texting Adam to tell him there's a deer out back. I feel like that Friends when it was like, there's a deer outside eating apples. What?
I learned a cool fact from an animal, speaking of deer, that we saw when we were coming back. We were driving through like Utah-Colorado border, and this herd, a small herd, of what looked like African antelopes. I was like, what on earth is that? So we took a picture of it, and somebody in our group who, I love it. It was a whole river trip full of nerdy people who like.
Well, that's because you're hanging out with Jews now.
It's great. Everybody's a nerd, and I love it. And then sometimes, like, in the beginning, when I'm noticing this thing. I will go back to my story, but I'm noticing this thing that sometimes happens when I hang out with people who are equally as nerdy and like, you know, brainy as me. Sometimes they do not think that I'm one of them because of the tattoos. So they become apologetic for they go, yeah, we're just a bunch of nerds. And I'm like,
hey, yeah, that would hurt my feelings.
Right. I feel like I'm like, I hope they don't know. I'm not the outcast. I am one of them.
Yeah.
Worse.
I'll show
Wait
you
till
nerdy.
You get going. Wait till I get going on the facts. It's going to be bad.
Sarah loves fun and even unfun facts. Facts of all
100%,
kinds.
100%. Yes. And I was on there were a bunch of like engineers and doctors and everything. And they were like, you know, yeah, we're kind of nerd. I'm like, great. I don't want to hang out with anyone else. Whenever
you're around people like that, do you like lean heavier on like the therapy part of your career?
Oh, gosh. Maybe.
Because podcasting, as we've talked about.
I definitely avoid I spent 10 years on reality television talk. Usually I just go, my brother's an engineer. It's like, hopefully they think maybe somehow the genes are similar.
Yeah.
And,
innocent by association.
100%.
Yeah. Let me share with you why you should order HelloFresh, okay? Here's why. Sarah, now especially because you're freaking immobilized.
I need this now.
You're not going to want to go to the grocery store.
And also, HelloFresh is great because I love my mother. She is so good at so many things. But coming up with meal ideas and cooking, she's also equally as impulsive as I am. So we go to the grocery store.
Yeah,
it's like,
you have to plan.
We're going to get this and this. And I'm like, no, Mom, we got to come in with a plan.
Yeah.
And that is too overwhelming for either of us. And we're both indecisive. So HelloFresh.
HelloFresh to the rescue. And for parents out there, this time of year, it's brutal. Because you're like trying to get back in the fall routine with school and homework and all that jazz. And the last thing you want to do is meal plan and worry about it. So this is such a great solution. They have 20-minute meals because there's another thing. You don't have a lot of time these days. You can change it up, get different kinds of stuff. It's just like everything you want, delicious food right to your door, cheaper than if you had to, go out and buy it or if you wanted to go out to eat. And it's just great. Go to HelloFresh.com/BrainCandy65 and use code BrainCandy65 for 65% off plus free shipping. That's HelloFresh.com/BrainCandy65. Use code BrainCandy65 for 65% off plus free shipping. It's the perfect time of year. Cozy up. Fall time. Get some yummy food.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the fact I was going to tell you about was what we saw. Because, like I was saying, there are other nerdy people in the group who are like, oh, I have to look that up, and I have to find out about it, and I have to know all the facts about it, which my kind of people, right? Our kind of people. I saw the pronghorn antelope, which is the fastest land animal in the Western Hemisphere, and it can outlast a cheetah at great distances. Holy crap, I did not know that the fastest land animal in the Western Hemisphere lives in my backyard, and we saw it take off, and I have it on video running. Oh, it was one of the coolest things. This thing is so fast.
Did you see it just one by itself?
No, a small herd of them. There were like 10 or 12, and little babies.
Wow.
There are baby animals all over Colorado right now. It's the freaking cutest thing.
Where do those guys lay down? Like, do they have a home? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or do they just keep on moving?
Because, man, oh, man, is it, like, barren out there. And there is nothing. There are very small shrubs. But then there are these little oases.
It's got to be That is a great question. Oases.
That sounds like it should be right. Oases. Whichever one it is. Kind of in these like random little pockets where there'll be like a river or even like an underground river, and it'll just look like a little green patch in the middle of the desert, which is kind of cool. So
that is cool. My gosh, I'm so jealous you got to see them.
Yeah, it was really cool. Like so many fun animals. Oh, and I saw a bald eagle fly right over the river. I was like, did we hire that? Like that looked like somebody like planned it. It flew right over all of our boats as we were like all the little rafts as we were going like right down the middle. That thing was huge. I'd never seen one in real life.
Yeah.
No,
I've never seen a bald eagle.
They're big and they are. It's interesting. Like, I'm not one to be like celebrating the American flag and like, America. Mm-hmm. So,
well, what about your Ford F-150 and its American flag front license plate? I love how you're looking at me thinking I'm just genuinely.
Yeah, I was like, wait, what? It's like, do I have this?
Oh God!
Don't let other people think I do, Susie.
She was looking at me like, "Do you know me at all?"
I was like, "What on earth?" I was like, "I got rid of everything I owned that was red, white, or blue, just so there was no confusion."
You know that sticker on the back, like Calvin peeing on like ISIS.
Yes. You know that one?
Yeah.
Oh gosh! But even then, when I saw it felt like majestic and like you understand why that is the
those guys are real bird. Like because we're so used to seeing them. I think people just think they're so beautiful, but they look scary as fuck. Like if real close up.
Yeah, they do.
And
their beaks are huge.
You could tell like it was kind of menacing. Yes. When you looked at it,
it looked like it would have like a scowl. Like if you were to draw it, it would have the eyebrows that would go down, which kind of makes me think they just have feathers that are like that, or like something on their face that makes them look like
resting bitch
that.
face.
Yeah, they totally do. Eagles have resting bitch face. That's funny. So it was a
those
great,
guys
all
are
in all,
scary.
it was a really wonderful trip. I think you would love floating down a river. I don't know. By day 3, I got antsy, but I don't know if that was because I was also injured on day 3 and like ready to like not be like that. And my disposable weed pen fell in the river on day 2, so I couldn't even enjoy a little,
Wow.
funny cigarette to
Can
relax me.
with a wacky tobacco.
Wacky
That could
tobacco,
really
that's the word I was looking for.
ruin things.
Yeah, it was fine. The Sauvignon Blanc made up for it.
Yeah, it takes the edge off. All right. Well,
yeah.
God, I'm sure glad that you're not
So.
like I thought you were going to say you tore your ACL or something.
Oh my God. The girl I was with on the trip, amazing skier. All the people we were with were from Eli's ski team. And like,
He's on a team. This is going
right?
to be
He
a
was
long
on, like,
winter,
varsity.
everybody.
oh yeah, you think I'm bad with the powder talk? He's way worse. So they were super athletic, and one of the women there, she recently tore her ACL. And
What do you mean team anyway? They compete?
yeah, downhill racing.
Oh my God.
Yeah, not now because they're older, but
Oh, they used to.
They used to. They were on college ski team. Yeah,
That's
college
fine.
ski
It's
team.
fine.
Yeah,
Fine.
yeah. No, not now. Grown up ski team. That's like the Olympics. But no, they're all these. Oh my God, they're so amazing. I'm going to be the slowest one in the group. I'm going to have to learn how to ski. Jesus Christ. Anyways,
Oh my God.
let's talk about something that's like not me getting injured and some fun facts. What do
Okay.
you say?
Let's do it.
There was a survey that was done of 3,000 people that revealed the best and worst jobs are if you are looking for a good night's sleep. And
Interesting.
yeah, but this was like a very quick article that just highlighted what the two industries that were the best and the worst. But there is a very interesting little snippet that was discovered, like in the data that, or information that the data revealed that you wouldn't expect that I love. So first of all, can you even guess what industries get the worst night's sleep?
I don't know, doctor?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Science and pharmaceuticals get the worst night's sleep, and also academics who are in research.
Yeah, I could
Duh.
see that.
They are just up. They can't shut their mind off.
Yeah.
And also business and consulting was up there, strangely followed by leisure. So that's in the leisure business. So I think you are in like the
Hospitality.
hospitality. And then also healthcare, which is like no surprise.
They're
'cause
bad.
Healthcare workers have the long shifts
Yeah.
and the work patterns that are very different from the standard 9 to 5.
Mm-hmm.
The best were electric companies. If you worked for utility companies,
What?
you can get the
That
best
is so
night-
specific.
right? Isn't it funny that also the people who keep the lights on are the best when the lights go out?
Right.
I feel like that's somehow poetic in some
Sarah,
way.
how do you explain that in your brain?
Oh,
Because that is bizarre to me.
yeah.
Utility workers.
It says energy and utility professionals were among the best slept people.
Wow. Mm-hmm. That is just so random.
So random. And I would love to know why. It's got to be something like consistent hours,
Okay.
because they don't have you come. The windows are 10 to 4.
I know, that's so true.
There's no stress, and you have to show up at some certain time.
Oh, yeah, like a cable guy. He has like,
He's like, what if?
yeah, and
I'm
they
just
like
coming in
fucking
this
don't
window.
show up. No,
Yeah,
nothing
no,
you can do
and everybody
about
just
it.
expects it. They're like, yep, that's just what they're like. And then
Maybe
I would
'cause
imagine that
it's
it
like
comes with like,
monopolistic. There's not really competition in the utility
Right.
industry.
there's one option if you want.
Yeah,
cable where
so
I
they
live.
don't have to worry about like,
Right.
oh my God.
Right.
Okay.
This is not even the most interesting part of the
Okay.
study.
Sorry.
This is the part that is, no, I want you to be excited.
I am.
No apologies
Yeah.
necessary. This is the part that I feel like is brain candy, chef's kiss material.
Tell me.
This interesting pattern emerged when they compared the results for men and women. As men entered an industry, their stress level appeared to be at its lowest. reporting less sleep problems. They reported around 15%, like 15% of them reported sleep problems. As they became more senior, the number of people who experienced stress and sleep problems increased.
Okay.
Women had the exact opposite effect.
Okay.
They started with really high stress levels, and as they became more comfortable and moved their way up in the company, sorry, my dog's barking in the background.
That's okay.
I don't know what happened to Bo. As soon as Stella got here, my mom's dog, Bo became this alpha dog that now has to
Listen, she's getting excited for her quinceañera.
She is. It's coming up. 2 more months.
You know how teenagers are.
I do. They're getting a little rowdy, Also, impulse control, not so good with her. So, so women have the opposite effect. So they have worse sleep as they enter. Entry-level women seem to have worse sleep, but with seniority comes comfort, and soon they settle for 25% improved sleep with executive positions.
Wow.
That there is this feeling when women enter, I feel like just understanding that has so many other implications with the difference between men and women who start at the same position and their ability to negotiate for a higher salary. If your stress is lower and you aren't as concerned, you probably are more confident. If you have higher stress and you feel more unsure and, even restless, sleepless, then maybe it would affect how you negotiate for your role or even how you act in those first few years as compared to a male counterpart who's chill, nobody's going to fire me. I'm not going anywhere. And a woman is oh no, I got to prove myself. I've got, I hope I'm accepted by my male peers, especially if they're in a male dominated industry.
Yeah. I'm sure that the frequency of sexual harassment probably decreases too, the higher up you go. Stuff like that.
Okay. Susie.
Yeah. Right.
Excellent point. Because think about the things that I talk to clients about how we all have this stress tank. I probably said on here too. And things fill it up. Mm-hmm. And usually we don't notice that it's full until it's about 75%. And then it's oh God, there's no room in it. There are so many things, we've talked about with, when the pandemic, when we were all inside and everything, that was our tank was 50% full just because of the situation we were in and the context that we're in and the how we believe we're being perceived and the stressors that we deal with, they fill that tank.
Yeah.
So you think about a woman going in there thinking about, oh no, I have to deal with these guys who are going to make these comments to me. Mm-hmm. That's definitely filling up your tank.
Absolutely.
A significant percent that gives less room in there to deal with other normal stressors that may come with the job, where you have a male counterpart who does not think, oh, fuck, I'm going to be sexually harassed. So he's got extra room in his tank.
And that doesn't even account for any race or class or other things that can increase. Totally.
Absolutely. That's probably the same. I would imagine that would be interesting. The study was done in Britain and England, and they didn't put any information about any sort of
how they controlled for stuff.
Yes.
Well, I would love to know, because they're basically trying to show the difference between men and women. They have that inverse situation in the data. But I would theorize that at every point, the men's stress is lower than the women.
I would absolutely theorize the same.
Yeah. I want to know, the raw numbers in that.
Yeah. And that, you're coming in, women's maybe baseline, what's your baseline? How is that different? And
yes.
Yeah.
Right. There's more to this
story. And I think about that tank. I think, theirs is full between 10 and 30%, and ours is 30 to 50% full, kind of thing in some situations. Not all, of course.
No, yeah. That's so interesting. Did it name anybody other than utilities that have, good sleep?
energy and utility professionals
That's
were among the best. It was a very short, I didn't, I just saw the headline and kind of clicked and read a little bit of it. I didn't dive into like the actual study on all of it, but it would be interesting to look at. And
I'm sure though that
it was the part about the women being opposite that I was like, oh yeah, that's the good stuff.
Yeah. I'm sure consistent work schedules has a big part of it though. And hours and all that.
Yeah, like I'm surprised like firefighters aren't on here,
Don't they have funky hours? Sometimes they have to work like all night.
But then I think Lucas, my brother, because he's a fire paramedic and he is really good at falling asleep. Like he has a strict sleep schedule. And his roommate that he used to live with was in the military and then became a firefighter. And I was always worried, when I was like staying there before I went to go visit my mom and before I moved here. And I was worried like, oh, am I making too much? I don't want to wake them up. These guys were both like, we can sleep through anything. And like, I've like been in military zones and slept through, like, you're fine. And they seem like they get great night sleeps. And, I'm like,
I can't relate to that.
And I can't either. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, maybe like being forced to, like when you have to force your body to sleep under like, I don't know, like a lot of stress, it can kind of do that more.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah, there's a lot of discipline involved in that too because, I forget the name for it. What do they call that? There's a name for the thing that we do at bedtime when we just keep watching even though we're tired.
Oh, yeah. Whatever that is, I do that.
Yeah, and it's like you're trying to enjoy your life.
Oh, yes. It's oh my gosh, I totally know what this is.
There's a phrase for it.
Yes, that you're trying to like get back.
Revenge.
Like you feel, yes.
Something.
It's like not like I don't know, nocturnal revenge or something like that.
Yeah, nocturnal.
It's gotta be like
that should be what it's called.
Yeah,
but
totally is.
We just want those moments of like, where you're not as stressed and you can escape the, craziness of life. But then next morning, and it's like the Jerry Seinfeld bit: night guy always screws morning guy.
Oh my God, my night guy.
Yeah, he's a real dick.
Real dick. I had a funny food one where I woke up with something and I had no idea.
Your night feedings.
I had that recently. I think it was the stress of like when my mom first got here, there was something like I was up really,
do you know
really
what you
late.
ate?
I can't remember, but it was something ridiculous and I found it in bed with me the next morning. And it's always like, I never eat it. Like that's the crazy thing is I make it for myself. Only sometimes, well, I don't know, maybe I eat some of it, but sometimes I make it and then I find it next to my bed. I think it was a sandwich, a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. And then I woke up, it was like rock hard. Yeah, I think I had another one of those experiences. Oh God, Eli's in for it when we move in together.
That is hilarious.
He's gonna be like, what happened in have
you ever done it when you're in a relationship? And why don't they wake up and notice that this is happening?
I think I have done it. I did it when I was with Landon.
Like if
I don't think it happened really with Ren in that. Maybe it was too, I don't know. Who knows? I have no freaking clue. I mean, I don't know. Nobody's ever taught, and maybe they just don't wake up. Maybe they think, well, no, it did happen with Ren once because I went to and he was like, I was wondering what you were doing in the kitchen, and then I wasn't awake, and they tried it like I am awake, like my eyes are open,
right? You seem awake,
but I'm not aware.
I bet you if they talk to you though that you would respond normally.
But maybe and then start saying other weird things because I could yeah, it's interesting. We're gonna see. So
yeah, keep us posted. I love those night feedings that you do.
Yeah, I should take pictures like when it happens. I will next time something like that happens. It's probably not good. And I think it happens less when I'm working out. I think when I like give like workout and I'm outdoors a lot and like more active.
Well, then the next 2 weeks are going to be great because you're going to be keeping a load off that ankle. Is it your left or right?
My right one.
Oh man,
which stinks for driving because like I couldn't push hard enough to like on the gas.
She's going like 2 miles an hour.
Right. I was like, oh, come on. I was like pushing harder on.
Are you serious? What are you going to do?
It's fine. It's gonna be fine. When I have the boot on, if I put the boot on,
this seems like a death trap.
Do you think you can I wonder.
It's going to get stuck, and you're going to be laying on the gas.
Could I make my own cast?
Oh no!
Why could I not?
Decoupage. What's that called?
Couldn't I order the ingredients online? Can't you order that on Amazon? I feel like if I can order other medical equipment on there, I feel like this is not the worst idea. Because here's the problem. Here's what happens. When I had my foot injury, when I went to your wedding, did I have a boot on or a cast?
Boot.
Okay. They ended up casting my leg because I wasn't responsible enough in a boot, and I kept on. It wasn't allowing it. They told me that. They said the only other people we have to do this with are children, and the doctor was not happy. He got mad at me, and he was like, "Now we have to put you in a cast because you're gonna mess up." I kept hitting it or bumping it or walking on it when they told me not to, and then I kept bumping the plates and the pins because they had to put it back together with screws and shit. And so they're like, we have to keep it so you don't bump it. And they said Google, when I Googled this morning, said that sometimes it could need a cast just to keep it immobile.
Oh, no.
It doesn't need to be in any position. I don't have to reset anything. I just have to keep it immobile. That feels like something my brother, who's a fire paramedic, could probably do for me.
But then don't they use a special saw to get those things
Don't
off?
you think Lucas has access to that kind of saw?
Sarah.
I know.
I'm
really just trying to avoid having to pay my deductible.
How much is your deductible?
Like $7,000.
Oh, wait, you would have to pay that?
It says 50% after deductible. I looked it up.
Get out of here.
Yeah. For special, because it's like I'd have to get an MRI first for them to diagnose it.
Okay. Well, there has got to be something you could use to keep it,
one of those boots.
Get a boot first.
Yeah.
Don't oh my God.
I'm just wondering.
She's like, I'm just asking questions over here.
I'm asking questions here. We're just I bet every doctor, everyone who's in the medical field is screaming at me right now.
Well,
don't do that. You're a dummy. I understand this. I know this. This is not any advice anybody should follow.
Yeah, but it does speak to the messed up healthcare system that we have to think of things like this and be like, should I get the care I need or should I go on Amazon and buy decoupage or whatever that's called?
I'm trying to save up for a mountain bike. I don't want to spend all my money on ankle surgery.
Yeah, I don't blame you. That's terrible.
Stupid.
We have to do a GoFundMe.
Yeah, it would be pay for Sarah to get my mom's we were thinking how much could x-rays possibly be? X-ray won't help me.
Pricey.
It's not bone. And they are pricey, between $100 and $1,000 for you to tell me, just stay off of it. That's what I don't want. I swear to God, it's kind of like when I paid $1,000 when I took Sigmund, my French bulldog, into the vet because he ate an entire pillow, the inside of a pillow, and then all the doctors said in his stomach, he looked so uncomfortable, like he was dying. So I took him in, and I spent friggin' $1,000 for them to tell me that he had gas.
No.
Yes. And they're like, no, he's fine. It's not obstructing anything. It'll come out, no problem. But he does have gas, and that's probably why he's uncomfortable. Okay, I could have told you that. So I'd like to not have a similar situation happen here, and just
Was the gas from the pillow, or just separate?
Just separate.
You're lying.
Gassy. Yes, I know. And I was like, I hate this dog.
That's awful.
When my ex-husband used that dog as a bartering chip, threatened, I'm going to keep Sigmund. I was like, you are? Great. See ya. Have fun. Boys against girls.
Boys against girls.
Yeah, I kept Bo.
Girls rule, boys drool.
Girls rule, boys drool. And that dog drools and is gassy. So
I was in my kitchen cooking the other day, and I was trying to think, you know how I always say, there's nothing, Sarah is never malicious. She never does anything with the intent to hurt somebody. And the only thing that I could think of that you did like to
What'd I do?
was I can't say what it is, but you did it to your ex-husband and he still hasn't found out yet.
Oh, it was the best thing in the whole entire world. No, I'll never know.
That was my favorite.
But
Sarah
also,
did this,
I didn't make this up. I was pressured by all the people at camp. It was after camp one year,
campers.
and we had just gone on a cruise. We had all gone on a cruise together, and they were like, "Oh, I have
Here's
an
what
idea.
you should do."
Here's
and
what
it's
you should do.
harmless. Like no one
Totally
will
harmless,
be hurt,
absolutely,
but it will be so great whenever
so harmless.
it is revealed. We don't know when that will be. but
Maybe
when it
I'll
happens.
tell you on Patreon or something fun like that, or my close friends. Because this is too good.
Yeah, it is so good.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, me too. And then I was like, wait, that's got to happen one of these days where Landon realizes Sarah is the victor.
Yeah. and nobody's going to, this is great. This is funny. I love it. Okay, do we have time for one more before we wind it down?
It's up to you. We could wind it down. We could do one more. What are you feeling? Whenever I'm on Zoom, I always think I have makeup down here, but it's just a birthmark. Like, you would think I would know my own face by now.
Since like crows do and elephants do when they look in the mirror. So he's like, what's that? But no, you do recognize yourself. So maybe
That's true. That's
yes.
something at least.
Yeah. I'm going to save this one for the next one because I think it's so, there's so much to unpack. Okay. I'll give you a little teaser and a little hint. Mm-hmm. This will be 2 episodes from now. It is inspired by our West conversation on Patreon that we did where we talked about the recent winner of the Challenge All-Stars.
Yeah. We were
and
talking
some traits that may be
like people from reality TV and
yeah, and preferences, things like that. Very interesting. Inspired by our
that.
West.
Okay. And then if you have not checked out Sarah's show with Therapy Jeff, this changes everything. You should check it out. And make sure you leave a review because Therapy Jeff's like so good at mobilizing all his friends and his fans. And we need to have Sarah be represented by her most loyal fans.
Listen, guys, Jeff and I have different energy. I'm what you know after 649 episodes of this. They do not know me. So they are like,
who's this lady?
She's a lot.
She is a lot.
And the reviews are sometimes like, that loud woman should stop talking so much, which I understand. But I need you guys who know that eventually, I'll let Jeff speak to kind of like balance out the reviews and give me some love on there because I need some love.
Yeah, Sarah needs some love because if you didn't know Sarah and you just were following Therapy Jeff, you would have this feeling of like, who is this lady?
Who is this lady?
And why is she so excitable?
Right. Yes. They'd be like, what is wrong with her? Yeah.
And
she
also,
needs a chill pill.
Yeah, leave a review for that. But just check it out. It's doing amazingly well, and they're just such a dynamic duo. You'll love it.
Thank you, Suze.
And then Sarah and I have a spinoff, Things We Got Wrong, which is going to keep getting better, actually, because I keep, there's going to be a lot of clips from the original Brain Candy that we're going to include in these episodes to play back and then discuss. And
there's so much I got wrong. It's
we both did.
Embarrassing.
Yeah,
but we're going to deal with that. And then it'll be less embarrassing the more we do it.
But I mean,
we'll normalize. It's okay to get things wrong.
If you think about it, like, we do not, all we do is like, we pick a few articles and then we come here to discuss. So like, anytime we start talking about something that's not in our notes, we're just winging it here, people.
Winging it. And we don't have that person who's like the producer who goes, ladies, that's not right. I've Googled that and actually, blah, 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 blah. So, we just like.
Yeah. We have a skeleton crew over here, okay? Let's wind it down. Sarah strikes again. Ugh. Unbelievable.
Keep me away from children.
And also keep all of us away from slip and slides.
Keep all of us. Yeah. Use soap. Don't slide like it's baseball.
Oh, my God. Was the incline not steep enough, do you think?
No, it was very steep.
Oh, it was?
Yeah.
But
and
you-
I
you would
successfully, and the reason why I went so fast on the second run is that I had a successful first run.
Oh.
So I went in too confident. And then I was like, watch out, kids. Woo! It's probably like sounded like that.
Sarah,
With a little in between.
Stop it. It's so funny. Did anyone film this moment?
No, thank God. I asked,
like-
but multiple people have asked this.
Yeah, because it's hard to believe in this age.
No, they were all busy filming the guys doing the gainers on the other side.
What the is a gainer?
What the flip that Eli did off of the rock.
Those are called gainers?
Yeah, where you jump out and then go backward. Oh my God, I hate that he did that. At least he was wearing a life jacket.
Yeah, I call them losers. That's what I call them.
Yeah,
No gaining.
Oh God. No, just losing. Oh my God, I'm definitely going to use that joke for sure,
Yeah,
100%.
thanks.
And be like, no, I don't want you doing any more gainers because you know what? It's going to end up me being a loser of a boyfriend.
You know why
To
that's
the
funny?
hospital.
Because on Curb Your Enthusiasm, anytime, like, Larry's always wanting to emphasize he's not into whatever. Obviously, that's the whole point of the show. And so he went up to this woman one time, and he was like, just so you know, this is not a pickup. I don't pick up. I put down. Yeah. And it's like, that's my whole thing. And like...
I love it.
And then somebody said, live it up. And he goes, I don't live it up. I live it down. I'm like, yes, me too, Larry.
Yes.
Anyway.
Yes, I get that.
Live it down with us. That's about it. But anyway, utility workers, good for you.
Good for you.
Sleeping like
Getting
babies.
those Z's.
Getting those Z's.
Yeah.
And
Women, more stressed early in their career, less stressed later. Men, less stressed early, more stressed later.
Sick of those guys. Yeah. All right, people, check out our merch. Check out our patreon.com/braincandy, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.